After battling injuries for the past 2 years, it's safe to say this next NBA season will be make or break for DeMarcus Cousins. The pressure is on, Boogie. Even though the Lakers and Cousins have mutual interest in coming to terms on a new contract, I wonder, would that be in DeMarcus Cousins' best interest? After all, if he wants to show he can get back to anything close to the player he once was, would playing in the shadow of LeBron and Anthony Davis be the best for the long-term outlook of his career? In today's video, I'll tell you the 5 teams DeMarcus Cousins should consider signing with and what he could bring to each one. What's up, everybody? This is Troy, host of the Half Court Report YouTube channel, and today we are talking about DeMarcus Cousins, his story, and it's so interesting because he was on track to be one of the best big men in the league. 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, was set for a massive contract. Well, he gets injured a couple years ago, and his career has not been anywhere close to what it used to be ever since then. And yeah, next season is going to be a big one for him. But he's a free agent, and the question is, who is he going to be playing for? Let's go for 28 likes on this video because what happened to DeMarcus was ridiculous.
It's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
And if you enjoy the NBA and videos like this, I would love if you subscribe to this channel. We are on the way to 1,000 subscribers. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Half Court Report. So the first thing I want to do is start out with a little recap on how DeMarcus Cousins' career got to this point. Of course, we probably remember he was drafted by the Sacramento Kings, 5th overall in 2010. During his time there, a bit of a roller coaster, had some ups and downs, losing team, coaching changes. He kind of developed a reputation as a player who couldn't always control his emotions on the floor, and that really followed him through all of his time there. Technicals, suspensions, issues with coaches, but through it all though, very productive player. 7 seasons, almost 500 games in Sacramento, averages of 21 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, also 3-time All-Star, first time that had been done since like the Chris Webber, Peja days. Then you know what happens?
He gets traded. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
It had gotten to the point with the Kings where they just had to go their separate ways, so they ended up sending him to New Orleans in that Buddy Hield trade. So now he's playing with Anthony Davis, who was also up and coming as one of the best young bigs in the league. So over about a season and a half with the Pelicans, he had averages of 25 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. The stats he was putting up, completely unreal. Also by this point, he had become quite the prolific three-point shooter, 36% at about 6 attempts per game. The thing is though, he only played 65 total games with the Pelicans. A little over midway through his second season, he tears his Achilles. That's an awful injury. It ends or changes lots of careers. If that wasn't bad enough though, this happens the summer before his free agency, and he was set to earn a ton.
No! No!
Ridiculous.
No!
So he ends up changing teams again, this time the Golden State Warriors, and they sign him to a 1-year deal with the understanding that, okay, you're going to rehab your injury, and when you're ready, you're going to come back and be a key piece to what we hope is going to be another championship, along with Steph, Clay, KD, who they still had at the time, and Draymond Green. And you might remember, maybe even you were one of these people, you were upset about this. You're like,
okay, the rich are just getting richer. Why are they getting DeMarcus Cousins? Are they not good enough already? They got to have one of the best bigs in the league too.
He ended up playing 30 games for Golden State, came back a couple months before the playoffs, and considering he just came off a major injury, not too bad. In those 30 games, 16 points, 8 rebounds. He got injured again in the playoffs. He was back for the finals, but they ended up still losing the finals to the Toronto Raptors that year. So the championship that he wanted eluded him.
It's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
This past offseason, he signs with the Lakers, and he's still at the point where he needs to show that he can be close to the player that he once was. It was not meant to be. He tears his ACL in summer workouts before this season even started. I guess that left leg is cursed. He tore his ACL this time. He never suits up for the Lakers, and they waived him back in February to make room for Markieff Morris, who they signed to the team. So if you're keeping count, that's 78 games that DeMarcus Cousins has played over the last 3 NBA seasons. So where does he go from here? DeMarcus Cousins, I know you're watching, and I appreciate that. I'm going to give you 5 teams that will help you get your NBA career back on track. The first team that I have on the list, the Miami Heat. So this is interesting because there have been reports that the Heat have had interest in Cousins in the past. He wouldn't start for the Heat, but he would back up Bam Adebayo and maybe play together here and there. He showed with Anthony Davis that he can play well with other all-star bigs. Cousins isn't the best defender, and after the injury, even worse, so I like Bam helping out in that regard. So I think if healthy, this makes Miami a finals contender. They could also offer him more money than any other team could. Give him that bloated 1-year deal. They're wanting to save money for the 2021 offseason. That would help pry him away from the Lakers. Second team I have in mind is the Washington Wizards. I like this because it would reunite DeMarcus Cousins with John Wall. They're really good friends from when they played together at the University of Kentucky. Washington, they need a center who I think is a little more experienced than Thomas Bryant, who they currently have. I mean, when was the last time they had a big man who could really just put the ball in the bucket? I really can't remember when the Wizards last had that. But another thing, Washington has shown the willingness to take a chance on players, like they did with Dwight Howard a couple seasons ago. Didn't work out for him, but they still took that chance. I think Cousins could also help with a playoff push, add him to what I hope to be a healthy John Wall, Brad Beal, re-signed Davis Bertans, and Rui Hachimura. Nice little team there. Another team that I think would be good would be the Boston Celtics. There have been rumblings that Boston has interest in Cousins, but sign him to a 1-year deal. They definitely need a center. They have Daniel Tice, Cantor, Robert Williams. I think as an overall player, Boogie's going to be better than any of those guys. Their coach, Brad Stevens, has shown that he can really bring the best out of players, perhaps help cover up some of Cousins' defensive issues. But this would be an incredibly deep roster with Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Hayward. The big question, though, would they be able to offer a competitive contract because they have so much money tied up in their All-Stars? I also like the idea of DeMarcus Cousins with the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks actually had interest in signing DeMarcus Cousins the summer that he signed with the Warriors. He would start for Dallas, I think, from day one. Nice third option behind Luka and Porzingis. This is another one of those things where I'd like to see what kind of things Rick Carlisle would have up his sleeve in order to maximize DeMarcus Cousins. This is a total Mark Cuban move. I guess the big question is, though, would he start over Boban?
What?
That's a joke. The fifth team I think would work well with DeMarcus Cousins is the Portland Trail Blazers. A little bit of history with the Blazers as well. There was talk that he was going to be involved in a sign-in trade back in the summer of 2018 that ended up getting killed. But Portland is set in the backcourt with Lillard and McCollum, but they do need more depth up front. So great chance for him to show that he's a guy who can still be part of a rotation, kind of help Portland get back into the playoffs, help them get back to their winning ways, serve as some insurance for Jusuf Nurkic, who has also been injured coming back from that. Good veteran team with some good locker room guys that I think DeMarcus Cousins would really find some positives in. I also think the city would really embrace him. I mean, you saw how much they loved Carmelo in his one season there. They're considered small market, so whenever a player chooses to sign with them, they love that guy. He is one of their own, especially a player with the accolades of DeMarcus Cousins. They really appreciate that, and they'd show him some love. Let me know in the comments where you think DeMarcus Cousins should play next season. We're going for 28 likes on this video, so subscribe to the channel as well. Would mean so much. We're on that grind to 1,000 subscribers. Thanks again so much for watching. This is Troy with the Half Court Report, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, one more thing. Here's some more videos to check out on the Half Court Report channel. I hope you like them, and thanks for watching.